Katie again. This video is to show you how to create a flawless and perfect base. So your base is this. It's your entire face. And obviously we will be concentrating on the neck as well, because you don't just put it on your face and then don't blend it into your neck. Your neck you can also contour, your neck you can also add foundation to. I use foundation all the way up to here, and then I will blend it down so it reaches around halfway down to my neck. If you've got the right foundation, it should blend really nicely because it should look like you have nothing on. If you are struggling to match your foundation, ignore this. If you're struggling to match your foundation, feel free to pop in me a message with the foundation that you have used once and you cannot find a shade similar to, and I can easily help you find one from our ranges that will, you know, suit your skin tone. Obviously towards winter you will need a cooler shade unless you are on sunbeds or going to the Bahamas every weekend. You will need a lighter shade towards winter, which is why most foundations tend to last around 12 months. But I know some that last for 6 months, so roughly around the time that you start having paler skin. So first off, you need to wash, cleanse and hydrate your skin. So I start off by doing a double cleanse, which is I use tea tree face wash, and then I use a chamomile cleansing balm. Chamomile cleansing balm just literally removes any makeup that's left over, but I will be doing another video on my actual cleansing routine before I do a makeup look. This is for after. So first off, you want a moisturizer that is going to suit your skin type. If you are struggling, I do have a little picture that will show you a test you can do at home with just a piece of tissue, and it will show you exactly what moisturizer you would need for your skin type. So I am using the seaweed one because I have a very oily forehead and T-zone, so I tend to use this, and I just use roughly a little bit more than a pea size because you don't need too much. But the seaweed one is really good. Obviously if you've got any nut allergies, I wouldn't recommend using seaweed as it does have nut oils in it, and obviously you don't want to have a reaction. So just put a decent amount of that on and let it sink in. After a couple of minutes you will then go on to the next step, and I will join you very shortly after it's sank in. And I'm back. So it's been a couple of minutes. My moisturizer is now in my skin. My skin feels really nice and soft, moisturized, and it is oil controlled. So I'm now onto my primer. You can get some primers from us which have also got foundation in. You've got the Peach Glow one, which is really nice, especially around summer. I always use the Insta Blur. It's #1 for me. And so what we do is we put a pea-size amount on the finger. So that should be enough. You don't want no more, no less. That should be able to do the entire amount of your face. With your primer, you start on the nose, just dab it, and then blend it out to the outer areas of your face, because your outer areas of your face are not where you're going to be more concerned about. Round here is not going to be needing as much primer. Around here you are. So then once you've done that and you've rubbed it in, you will soon feel like your skin is super silky and really soft. Give it a minute to soak into your skin. You'll thank me later for that. So next up is always do your lips. My lips, I always use a lip scrub first. I haven't got one at the moment because I've just run out. So what I'm going to do is, instead of using my lip scrub that I normally would use, I'm just going to put on one of my lip balms. I have a plum and the hot chocolate. The hot chocolate's tinted, so I'm not going to be using that one. So I will be using my plum one today. It smells beautiful, and that's what it looks like. Very clear. but it's a beautiful like spiced plum smell. And you always want to make sure your lips are moisturised, because this will soak in. Your lips will be a lot better to apply any lipstick, especially if it's matte lipstick or lip gloss or whatever, because then your skin on your lips will be 100% moisturised and they'll feel a lot better and application will be smoother. So once you've done that, you would then move on to getting basically your foundation on. My foundation choice is the matte clay. I use Raleigh Beach, which is 14, and I'm just going to pop a very small amount on my forehead. There we go. So this should be enough to cover most of my outer areas. I normally start from the middle out because, again, this is the area you want to focus on. But due to my oily forehead, I tend to need it up there as well. So I'm just going to start and buff it in. And you want really nice, firm pressure on when you're blending it. And also our matte clay formula has tea tree in, so you can smell it when you're applying it. So when you put it on, it's absolutely brilliant, because not only is it one moisturising for your skin as well, it's also a great one for if you have problematic skin. So if you have a lot of spots or anything like that, it can also help with your spots. So instead of making it more spotty, it's probably going to help you in the long run. I'm just going to make sure I get all the areas at the top, and then obviously blending it out towards the edges. I don't mind doing a quick rub. I'm just going to be back in a minute. I'm going to do my eyes and my chin. So now my face has got a small amount of the base on, I can now go on to my concealer. I use concealer on my eyes, so I haven't done my eyes, so I can show you guys exactly what I do. I am going to grab one of my beautiful brushes, and I'm going to show you how I apply my concealer. So I'm just grabbing the brush. I'm going to get a decent amount. I'm just going to sweep across very lightly under the brows, because you don't want too much, because of obviously that's where your hair follicles will grow. You'll end up getting like either ingrown hairs there because you've got too much product, or it'll end up looking really bumpy because of the primer. Will cover some, but it's not going to cover hair. So obviously on your eyelid, apply a little bit of a thicker amount, because this is where you're going to apply colour. Obviously you don't have to use concealer. I tend to use this as I prefer this method rather than going for a primer, because you can use a sticky primer to help keep everything in place. I'm just going to do the other eye. Again, slightly thicker on the lid. And then lightly towards the brow. Personally, I will always suggest that your concealer matches your foundation as close as possible. If you're having a lighter concealer, then that is a decent one to have, but I would recommend, you know, having the same colour so it blends nicely. So now that is done, I'm literally going to use my fingers to pat it all out, and that is your base done. It's so easy, so easy. Just make sure that you've got a blank canvas to work with, so your face is washed and moisturised and primed, and make sure that you moisturise them lips. They need the moisture too. So thank you for joining me for another tutorial on how to do your base. I hope you learned, and I hope you appreciated the video, and let me know, give me a thumbs up and comment below.